So, hi everyone. Welcome to the presentation of Devan. Devan has been working on his course TKAI internship for past 2 months. And as a diligent person, he has been very curious and working on different aspects and completing assignments on time. And his final project, he's going to present it. And this is about detecting brain tumor, which is quite a challenging data set. So I believe you applied VGG architecture, and then he also did some data pre-processing to come up with a good accuracy score on binary classification of yes and no. So Devan will introduce himself, but he is presently a third-year student at IIT Kharagpur, and his major is chemical engineering. So it's quite a good journey because as a chemical engineering student, he was not much exposed to machine learning courses, but he showed a wonderful uh, knowledge and also adapted well with the Pythons and PyTorch and every kind of libraries. So go ahead, Devan.
So hi there, my name is Devan Singh Pochzar. I'm a third year student at IIT Kharagpur from the Department of Chemical Engineering. So I have been connected with LiveAI for some time now. And around 4 months ago, I came in contact with Vishal and Tanisha, who helped me creating this project and also learn various aspects related to machine learning. So this is one of the projects that I did. It's called Project Neurology, which is about understanding the brain scan data using neurology AI. So talking about the content in this presentation, so we are going to have an overview of the data set, the model that we have used, the VGGs. After that, we will be moving forward to the loss function, then the RDM optimizer. And to improve our model, then we will be discussing about the hyperparameter tuning, and then we will see some of the final results. So talking about the problem or the challenge that we were trying to solve with our model. So each year, millions of people get brain cancer, and there are a lot of deaths from that globally. So determining the brain cancer at an early stage is a very crucial thing that needs to be done. But a lot of times there are maybe there can be some kind of human errors or other errors that occur, and there is a lot of problem that can be caused to the patients. So AI classification of brain scan data to determine the brain cancer or the tumor is a very essential thing that has been incorporating in the medical industry, and it is still being worked upon. So the major aspects of using such an advanced system in the traditional medical industry is that it provides us with more accurate results. At the same time, it also helps us uh, determining multiple data of maybe a big number of people, so that easily identify so that the brain tumor can be easily identified and treated appropriately. So talking about the data set that we were using for this whole project. So there was a data set which contained the images classified as yes or no. Yes were the images that had a brain tumor, and no were the images that didn't have a brain tumor. So the data set was of yes was 155 and of no images was 98, which is not that big so that we can create a very good model for it. And for the same, we use a technique called data augmentation, which is an artificial intelligence term that helps us create new number of images from the present data set that we already have. And for the same, while doing the EDA for the data sets, we plotted the pixel density distribution for both the kind of images that we had. And as you can see in the presentation, we already have some images labeled as yes and no. So this is about the data set. Proceeding to the model that we used. So we use a VGG model for the same that consisted of 16 fully layers and 3 fully developed layers. So basically this huge number of layers helps us in identifying various complex features that are associated with these scans. And also the VGG model is trained on the ImageNet dataset, which is all pre-trained dataset on a huge amount of database. So it is widely used for the classification of images into different categories. And this was the basic code of our model that we used while deploying it on our data set. And talking after, so a major thing for us in this model is also identifying that how our model is performing after we have trained it. So we used a binary loss function for the same, which helps us in identifying the differences in what the actual classification of the images are and what we have predicted from our model. So this gives us a better idea of how our model is functioning. At the same time, it also helps us identifying the problems with it and adjusting the weights accordingly. And for optimizing our model, further then we had used an Adam optimizer, which is an algorithm that is used to update model weights during our training. And it is basically a very efficient technique because it utilizes a very less amount of memory. At the same time, it improves our model significantly. And then the next step for us was to improve our model even further. So we use hyperparameter tuning. So basically in hyperparameter tuning, we already had a set of parameters, but depending upon the various classification that was done, the hyperparameters can be improved and the overall quality of the model can be improved using hyperparameter tuning. So it had basically four major steps. So one of them was a selection of the parameters. The second one was cross validation. The third is grid search or random search. That is a two the kind of things that we can use, and then regularization. So these are four major aspects of hyper tuning that we had performed. Apart from that, it also prevents the model from overfitting or underfitting so that it actually predicts the right uh, classification that needs to be done. And post the hyperparameter tuning, we had our final results. So for making an ideal interface for anyone who wants to use this model and classify it and find the nature of an image, we had used a Flask app that is basically used to create the front end of our project. So as you can see on the screen, we had an image that contained a brain tumor. So a user can easily upload that image on the system, and then our model can identify it based on various pixels and their densities, that whether it does contain a brain tumor or it does not contain a brain tumor. So it creates an easy interface for the people using it so that the work can be done pretty much easily. So, and all the files to the project can be accessed through the link provided here for the GitHub. And that was pretty much it from my side, Tanish.
Thanks, Devan. That's a wonderful presentation, and maybe we can take questions at this time. Any question from anyone?
I think very good presentation, Devan. My most important question that for me is that with this project that you did with us, uh, where do you stand now versus a few weeks ago when you were sort of, how did you see any experience in or growth in what you've learned? How did you experience our team helping you? And has it made you a better sort of professional with this journey?
Well, the whole process of creating this model and all the interactions that I had with Anishta and Vishal have definitely made me a better professional in the field of machine learning. Starting from the basics to the advanced level of machine learning, Tanisha and Vishal were always there to guide me. And at the same time, we had certain challenges that came in between, but they were always there to help me out with it. And it was a very fruitful discussions that I had with them regularly. So it was a very great experience for me to work along with them.
Very good. Of course, we are extremely excited to also support you in your ongoing journey. It is not, that we had a few weeks of this engagement with you and it's goodbye. We want to extend, and of course, there's a whole lot of things that are planned, starting with obviously this is, graduation ceremony, if I can call it that. We really encourage you to use not just the certification, but your experience to expand, to put it on your social media profile, to use it to maximize your chances also in the next year as you go into your final year.
Yes.
And sure enough, we will also have an internal discussion to see, does it make sense for you to, in a different capacity, to also work with some of our real world projects, which we are going to be releasing in the next couple of weeks and months. Some of them are quite fundamentally transforming new projects where we are trying to educate the, European citizens with AI master's programs, two other own our own AI projects where we help our customers in education sector, healthcare sector. So we first of all, great job. I know Tanishta has a certain structure in her head, so I don't have any other technical questions. I think one quick suggestion could be, while you have done this project, try to also, use the current models, VGG. I believe you used VGG 16, right?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I think VGG is 8, 9 years old. There are a lot of new models where, so this was classification, but if you want to go into segmentation tasks, there are interesting, there's a lot of advancement happening in that field. There are many models which we have used as well in complex tasks. So where you use masking techniques, etc. So my recommendation would be to don't see this as a few weeks experience and then you go back to your chemical engineering and try to apply it within your own domain. Find professors, find more students, tell the students about live AI. Maybe we could find a way to get you to become our campus ambassador. But those are the discussions we can have with Vishal, and we'll find a way to kind of support you in helping you build more teams, participate in hackathons. Some are funded, others provide other means like giving you compute capacity to data centers. So it's all up to you. Um, so wonderful job, and I'll hand it over to Tanishta or Vishal. I know there is a certification awarding. How do we want to do this? I'll leave it to you guys.
Yeah, so thanks, Terry. I think the next step is definitely awarding the certificate, but so I will email the certificate to Devan, but just that we have handed the certificate, I can probably share my screen and just show the Devan certificate, which Devan, you can get it from the, so after I email you, you can put it on your LinkedIn. So there is a number, code number over there, and we can help you do that. Okay. So let me probably just share the certificate here. Give me a minute.
Are there more students, Devan, from your faculty who are also learning a lot about deep learning, or how's the mix? Is it 50-50? What is the interest within your faculty and your fellow students?
Devan, could you hear the question? You are muted, I think.
I don't know.
Okay. Is
Okay,
it
never mind. Yeah, I think he's muted. Perhaps,
Yeah.
these are young people.
Can you please repeat? I didn't get it.
I said, you are, it's very good to have students from different engineering domains. So are others, there are other students in your faculty and your fellow students who are also interested in AI and deep learning?
Well, definitely a lot of my batchmates, after starting my internship at LiveAI, they got a notice of LiveAI and they have been asking me about it. And I'm sure they are looking for an opportunity to learn and inspire others also.
Okay, very good, very good.
Wow. Right. Second. Mm. Okay, so Devan will hand over this certificate to you through email, but this is how you get. Yeah, so here. So that's your certificate code. That's where it identifies, and that's from Terry. And also, LiveAI
Thank you so much.
is a EU funded project or a company. So that is what I mean. You were looking for internship opportunities, so that is the ticket. So the great ticket you have for your internship, and good luck with that.
Yeah,
Not
we
just
will send it
internship,
over to
even
you.
if
We'll send a
you.
formal email. Sorry, Vishal, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying not just your jobs, but let's say if you go for higher studies later, masters or something, this will always help you in that application process. Yeah, over to you, Terry, please.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say. So you see that logo at the bottom left. We have official permission. It is not that we're just randomly adding a logo to a certification. There has to be a clearance process. European Commission is very strict about its use of its logo. We asked the permission. It was several months before we got this yes to go ahead and also promote sort of the programs that LiveAI actually participates in creating master's program. So one, you can use it. Two, if you want to come back or you want to go to Europe, we have access now to Ireland, Netherlands, and now with the new project which we are starting, we will have access into countries, other countries like Germany, Bulgaria, Italy, Hungary. I'm missing two other countries that are participating in the new project. So this way, that allows us to bring back and we make positive recommendations that leads mostly to 100% acceptance rate because these recommendations are coming from the European funded project partner, which is what we are. So it can be very useful and do sort of use it to your advantage.
Sure, I'm sure that will be very helpful to me in the future.
Okay. So
Well done.
Thank you so much.